All right. You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium with today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. And why are the Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. Haven't won a Super Bowl since after the 91 season. Haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. Washington Commanders, Washington football team, Washington Redskins, Boston Redskins, Boston Braves, whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves. You suck. They're really bad. You know what a Giant fan's laughing at you? You really suck. Oh, man. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there who's going to spend the night with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays once again. Thank you so much. One of the heartbeats of the world, Tony. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Ain't anybody got anything to say? Please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. You should try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free. Fire away, but plus also, seriously, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever I might want to be, it's just nice to talk to another giant. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, do with me in the absolute world. Fill me in the description box below. Very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon, the second one's called Lorenzo Carter, and the third membership level. It's called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support the channel, it would mean so much. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please get down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe give this video a thumbs up or share this video. That would be freaking awesome. And then finally, just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. I'll go over that one in just a second. The one underneath it, I'm an old-time fart. I can't stand change. I like things just the way they are. I'm going to get off my lawn. Old-time types of farts, right? Don't be changing stuff up on me. I'm too much of a moron to adapt and all that stuff. It's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter, and it will always be Twitter to me. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants me to call it, that's on you, bro. I ain't calling it that. I'm calling it Twitter. Why? Because it's Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. And finally, the link on top of it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants. It's my Facebook. We have over 8,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, my man. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'll put stuff in this group darn near 365. And now I put stuff in this group, but the members post stuff in this group as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants. It's my Facebook group. Right? And please join. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. But all stuff said and done and out of the way with. It was like that. It was like a barbecue or whatever it was. Big old. I think they had the same thing last year. I think it was. And they sent the guys on their merry way. Hopefully, what you like to hear or you don't want to hear over these next 6 weeks. You want the Simon and Garfunkel. Disturbed did it. I'm an old time fart. I like the Simon Garfunkel kind of version. I'm a big Disturbed fan. Down with the sickness. Man, bring it on, brother. I love that song. Freaking love that song. But I said, I like the Simon and Garfunkel. It's a little bit better than Disturbed's a close second, but the Simon and Garfunkel. So what you want to hear over these next 6 weeks is nothing. Right? Absolutely nothing. Because if you hear something, that's usually probably something pretty bad. So and so got arrested. So and so did this. So and so broke his leg in a car accident. So and so he can't be found. He so and so he got arrested. Something. Blah, 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 blah. Usually, if you hear something bad, if you hear something over the next 6 weeks, it's probably something bad. So you don't want to hear nothing, right? At least, I'll tell you what, man. It was last year. It was toward the end that I'm going with Jets now. Right? It was toward the end of last season. Rogers went up to the podium. He was talking. Whatever. They were asking questions and stuff like that. It was toward the end of the season, and he was kind of talking something along the lines. I can't remember exactly how it went, but like apparently there was there's some distractions. Again, it didn't seem like, I guess, along the lines like everybody maybe in the locker room wasn't focused. He said all the BS it's got to get removed or something. Something along the lines of the guys in the locker room, weren't focused on like it seemed like winning football games. There was some other stuff going on. Guys had other stuff going on. They weren't totally focused 100% on winning. All right, cool. That makes sense to me. The guy, went to a Super Bowl and all that. He's been MVP and all that. And, hey, they're paying you good money, stuff like that. I hear that from Aaron Rodgers, And then it's also weird. They got mandatory minicamp, just 2 days that you have to be at your job. You can't show up for either one of them. Yeah. Or wherever it was, I don't know if it was in December, it was in January. You had this, you got guys who just not focused on the goal. With a Super Bowl here. So it was like 5, 6, 7 months ago, whatever that was, and now here's a couple. You can't even show up for 2 mandatory. Hey, really? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, somebody dying that you had to be there at their last. Somebody was taking their last. Maybe if your mother was passing away, I mean, I hope that wasn't the case. But I mean, I don't know what it's mandatory minicamp. It's like it's not a 24-hour day. 2 days. Each day is 24 hours long. Where the Jets are going to need you there for practice. If it's not that, it's only there for a while. You can't be there? Yeah. Sure about that? You really focused on winning? Yeah. Don't sound like it. And you got Fulton. Wax on, wax off. He's barely holding it out. I guess he wants more money or whatever, or something like that. So at least the Giants don't really have that. I mean, and we got questions. We're going to go over one of them in a little bit. But we had we had as the Darren Waller turns. We got that program ended, right? General Hospital and Days of Our Lives and all that stuff. As Darren Waller turns, well, that program has come to an end. Okay, ABC pulled the plug on as Darren Waller turns, so now we can move forward. Right? He's officially retired. Wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully he's in a good place. Because always wonder, especially about guys. Because there's obviously guys who, I guess everybody's got demons, but some of them are, I don't know how you want to put it. Some are bigger than others, or some rear their ugly heads more often than other guys, or something like that. Everybody's got maybe little problems or something like that. But apparently, Waller was been going through and all that in his life and everything like that. And he's had some demons. The thing is now, with his rap career, I'm sure he's going to obviously he'll be around other people. Just not sure. Hopefully the people he's around, are be good for him, his mind, and all that. You got a good group of guys in the locker room. It's a good bonding. Keep them straight now. But he wanted to retire. God bless you. Nothing but the best for you. Hopefully he's in the right state of mind and all that and everything. I mean, it's also because he just went through a divorce and everything. So obviously, wish him nothing but the best. But so we had Darren Waller. But we had Darius Slayton. He's back. Obviously, you don't know for how long he could be a trade target. Who knows, right? Quite possibly this might be, regardless. Quite possibly might be his last season with the Giants. Because I mean, I don't think he's going to want to come back here for those $6 million a season when he can probably go elsewhere and make quite a bit more. And I can't see the Giants, dishing out, buku bucks for him to say whatever he wants, 10 million, 11, 12 million or something. Yeah, I don't blame him. But, so I can't see the Giants bringing them back after this season, especially obviously Hyatt, Robinson, Neighbors. I mean, they're all healthy and fine and all that after the season's over. I can't see us trying to bring Slayton back, especially when you start looking toward the future. We got to start maybe coming up with some dough maybe to start paying some of these other guys. Kayvon's going to want to get paid. Once again, as Evan Neal turns, we're not exactly sure. Once again, we'll go over that in just a little bit. But I mean, we'll have some guys that probably want to start getting, think about starting to get paid. So let's not forget. I mean, the thing is with Hyatt. Next season, Hyatt, Wando Robinson, right? What's up, Eddie J Man? Thanks for joining me, brother. Thanks for hanging in there with me. But Wando Robinson, right? He's a second-round pick, right? It's not like we got a fifth-year option on him, right? He's going to want to get paid. So we got this will be his third season. Right? I mean, if he starts doing really well, obviously the one thing is with Malik Neighbors, he possibly open stuff up, because Malik can make everything a little bit easier on everybody else. Right? If you got a couple guys worried about Malik over here, that might help Wandell over here. So Wandell's third season, when next season rolls around, right, the Giants maybe want to extend him, lock him up. Hey, Wandell, what do you this next season, it's going to be his fourth season. So we might want to maybe in the off season lock him up, extend him. I don't know. If he has a nice season this year, it's going to cost some money, right? Obviously you don't want to let him hit free agency or anything like that. I mean, you could put a franchise tag on him, I guess. But that always causes a little bit of friction, right? But I mean, some line you're going to have to start. Got some guys who have to start signing. Hey, if Evan Neal starts turning things around once again, we'll have to wait and see. But if Evan Neal turns things around, so we got some guys, but there's a Darius Slayton, quite possibly be his last season here with the Giants. So we got the rookie report card. Who is this? SB Nation. Ed Valentine. He's got his rookie report card. He's got, of course, Malik Nabers. They say players know players, and Giant players have been. This is where Giants players have been effusive. Okay, this spring, and that's what I like about being a ball. Like I don't use effusive. I think I've heard that word one other time in my life. I'm 60. I think I've heard that one. I'm not sure why you want to use that, but okay. So the Giants players have been effusive this spring in their praise of the team's first-round pick. Extremely talented. Everybody knows that. Great route runner, strong, fast, adjusted to the ball. All the things you look for with quarterback Daniel Jones' description. I think he can be a very special player in this league. Said Bobby O'Carrick, second-year wide receiver Jalen Hyatt said simply called Nabers an elite guy. Or I mean, anything you've seen, on him is just these catches, just, snagging the ball. You see they got him throw kind of not gunning balls at him, but the old Beckham Jr. style, like when he used to warm up before games. Right? He'd have a certain guy. I can't remember. It was a ball guy or exactly who it was, but he always had, I think, one guy throwing the passes before the game, down toward the end zone. So Odell could warm up, show off, or whatever you want to call it. He always had one guy throwing balls. Odell would jump up, obviously, and catch the balls with one hand. Well, that's what Nabers is doing. He's only and Ed Valentine puts in here straight on. He's only 20 years freaking old. Can you imagine that? So basically, if you think about it, if this guy, obviously, I don't want to jinx nobody, like that. I'm not saying he's going to be better than Odell or nothing like that. It is. It's messed up. Sometimes it gets bad for me. I'm kind of wondering if maybe as time goes by, maybe my gets worse as time goes by. Sometimes like I listen to some of the replay of it or whatever, and sometimes it just sounds it's like I don't know, it's like missing. Like I'll be talking and I can hear myself, and like a word or two goes by and I can't hear. What I mean? So it's maybe it's time to get a new one. Better now. It's getting okayed. Yeah. Better now. Okay. Yeah. I mean, sometimes maybe I just have some. Maybe I need a new one. But the one thing is with Nabers, I mean, it's like could you imagine? He's only 20 years old. Can you imagine playing for 10 years for the Giants? He's still only 30 years old. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let's hope he has a nice long career with the Giants. But he's only 20 years old. I mean, so he could literally have like 2 contracts with the Giants. And by the time his second contract is done, he won't even be 30 years old yet. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Thankfully, we can pick up the 5th-year option on him, right? And then obviously, I know I'm jumping the gun here and all and everything, but with hopefully, it's all like, yeah, you got that right, yeah. But with Odell, I mean, a little, he's just a little sometimes. Obviously, he had this, got some injuries as well too. That one preseason game, the one dude from the Browns, was took went real low on him and took out his Took out by his ankle or by his knee or whatever it was. So he's had some problems. He has had some problems. Hopefully Malik can stay relatively healthy, going forward. That would be fantastic. But I mean, everything you've heard, right? Everything you heard so far about Malik is just, the guy seems to be true to form, right? Let's see. Malik said, "I'm just trying to be me, trying to level up my game every day. I'm out here," Naber said. "Every time I'm out there practicing, I'm trying to get better. The main focus is to get 1% better when I'm out there on the field. Try to bring a level of energy to the team, be a great teammate, be that guy on the field that wants to practice and wants to play here." Then we got the second-round pick, Tyler Newman. The second-round pick worked primarily with the second-team defense throughout the spring. Ultimately expect Newman to start alongside Jason Pinnock in the back of the Giants' defense. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, I'm sure they want that. They want Pinnock back there. They want Newman, but don't forget about Belton either, right? Head coach Brian Dable called Newman a really smart player. Jerry Shane has referred to Newman as a culture changer as a college player at Minnesota. Assistant GM Brandon Brown said Newman can become like the alphas of alphas, meaning he can become a leader in the back of the defense. Of course, then you got Drew Phillips. Yeah. So, so he's done so far. He's done pretty good. I mean, everything here on, like Newman, the third-round pick out of Kentucky, occasionally mixed in with his first-team defense while taking most of the snaps of the backups. That figures a change during the summer. After all, it doesn't seem like the Giants moved Cordell Flott from the slot to outside corner to make room for Nick McLeod to play inside. Phillips wants to make being a slot cornerback cool. Well, I'll tell you what, man, it is not easy. I mean, it is difficult. Because you can't, when the guy's on the outside, you can get up on him. Kind of slot. He's playing, he could be a yard, two back, and it's tough to get up there and jam him. The guys, they snap the ball, the guy, basically can get off the line of scrimmage without being touched. And a lot of times, especially if it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, something like that, and they choose not to run the ball, the guy cutting out or cutting in or something like that, and you can't get a hand on the guy. Completion, first down, move the change. It's tough. Being a corner slot is tough. Now, it's not necessarily where you got like a Randy Moss or somebody huge or whatever out there, but you see some of these guys, ABCD Lamb. I mean, some of these guys, some of these are these slot receivers are tough to cover. Tough. And that's why it's so important, to get somebody who can cover them. Neal Johnson. Dable said during minicamp that the Giants drafted 6'6", 259-pound Johnson in the 4th round because they thought we had a good player. They also, of course, had to be expected the retirement of Darren Waller and finding a player who could become a dynamic receiving threat from the tight end spot. Johnson did that throughout the spring with a number of impressive catches. I mean, he's got the size. I mean, I'll tell you what, if he can work himself up to where he's a decent blocker, I mean, he's got the size, he's got the height. I mean, the RAS score was absolutely freaking crazy. Dable admitted that how much impact Johnson can have as a rookie is a good question. I mean, because there's always so much to learn. So much to learn. But, I mean, you got to think, Cager, is done pretty good. And he's was a wide receiver. Reported Stahl and Manhurts. Supposed to be blockers. You got Bellinger. Right, so wait and see how Johnson gets on the field. Once again, a lot of these guys, to see how well they do in the especially preseason games, right? Especially our next guy here, Tyrone Tracy. Now, does he want to become like a return guy, right? He's a running back, was primarily a wide receiver in college, but then they turned him over into a running back, and he's got a lot of tread left on his tires. It's not like somebody who's had like 2,000 carries. Well, not 2,000 be a little ridiculous, but say it's not somebody who's had like 1,000 carries in college, and now you get them. 1,000 carries, 1,000 carries. I don't care who you are. That's taking tread off the tires. Tyrone Tracy, it's got a lot of running football left out. There's an opportunity for Tracy, a wide receiver turn running back, to become RB number 2 for the Giants behind Singletary. During the spring, he occasionally took first team reps. Tracy, picked in the 5th round, could also be valuable as a kickoff returner, especially if the Giants use 2 kickoff returners. Then you got Darius Slayton. There aren't a lot of opportunities for inside linebackers to shine during spring practices. Nope, without pads. There really isn't much to report or say about Slayton as a defensive player. He figures to be a core special teams player initially, and the Giants are going to need that. They're going to need, especially on that kickoff return. Kickoff coverage. Going to need guys out there who can move and make tackles. And, he can be a huge special teams, without question, contributor. Especially, if we want to lose like Ed Brown, we're going to need somebody to replace him. Right, so. All right, next. The Giants got Evan Neal's back. Well, all right. Well, I have to, the thing that kind of bothers me is what you kind of hear about what they're kind of talking about with Evan Neal. Some of his writers and all and everything is like what's kind of like going on which is a little, I don't know. I don't want to say disturbing or whatever, but he doesn't seem like he's with the team. It's like he rides the bike or whatever, and that's what they tell him. He rides the bike. Then when he's done riding the bike, from what some of the writers are saying, he's like stands like in another stratosphere, like nowhere near where the guys are at. And it's like, why aren't you with your team? Why aren't you at least within this? Why are you standing in Ohio? They're playing in New Jersey. Why are you so? It just seems a little bit odd there, a bit odd. But this is from Ed Valentine. Once again, hey, from Big Blue View. The Giants come to the defense of right tackle Evan Neal. In battle, Giants' third-year right tackle Evan Neal has drawn attention during the team's mandatory minicamp without doing anything, or more precisely, because he hasn't been doing anything. Neal, rehabbing from ankle injury to repair an injury that landed him on injury reserve last season, did not practice during the final OTA open to media or either of the team's this week's practices. He appeared briefly on Tuesday to ride a stationary bike that went inside. Wednesday, he made another brief appearance toward the end of a 1-hour practice. The Daily News reported that Neal is simply following the recommendation of a surgeon who operated on the fracture in his left foot late last season. The Daily News was told after practice. As Pat Leonard of the Daily News correctly pointed out, what has really been noticeable is Neal seemingly to be physically removed from the rest of the team. Which is just doesn't, it makes no sense. Neal was alone in his slow walk inside after riding the bike on Tuesday. He didn't watch any of the install or 11-on-11 work. When he appeared on Wednesday, he joined the group as practice was ending and didn't appear to converse with anyone while leaving the field. Coaches and teammates defended the embattled 23-year-old. Dable was asked directly if Neal was someone the Giants can count on. That's what we're hoping for, Dable said. We can count on him. He's in here. He's working his butt off, and hopefully when everybody gets back, like I said yesterday, I'm hoping we'll be able to go forward have everyone ready to go in terms of how Ronnie Barnes has set it up and Aaron Roman has set it up. He's doing a good job. The strength staff has really done a good job. Yeah, so it just, I don't know. Evan is on the program in terms of trying to get back as soon as he can. He's doing everything he can do, participating in the meetings. So very hopeful, really, with all our guys, we'll get back and we'll be ready to go. Kafka said, absolutely, I can count on Neal. He's going through his rehab process, and I know he's eager to get out there. All those meetings in the O-line room, he's asking great questions and really into trying to get better. The medical side of our staff is going to take care of him and make sure he's on schedule. Whenever he's ready to go, he'll be ready to go. So, I mean, he's working on getting back, okay, which is cool. I mean, if he's supposed to be, riding a bike, or maybe if he's supposed to be inside getting some kind of treatment or something, okay. Okay. I said, it's just a little weird. Now, he's never been a real big talker or anything like that. He's not a big, huge rah-rah guy or nothing like that. But apparently, it's just from listening to these people talk and write their stories and all. Why are you like way over there? Why don't you join your team? And I don't know. It just seems a bit weird. But hopefully, what Dable's been talking about, right, is that everybody will be ready, close to being ready 6 weeks from now. Training camp starts out month. That means like Daniel Jones, Evan Neal, Connor Olszewski. So we'll have to wait and see. But as what they're saying, the Giants still, have a lot of respect and all that for Evan Neal. Now the thing is, they have his back and all that stuff and everything, but he hasn't proven anything so far this offseason, right? Saying that, I'm still the man. I can, because he hasn't done anything. So going to be interesting though if he has a little setback, can't make it or whatever. Do they put a Luminor out there at right tackle? Then we have a positional battle at left guard. It'd be interesting. Now next, blocked by the kicker. What number will Malik Nabers wear? I'll tell you what, if he's looking for a single-digit number, he's screwed. He's pretty much screwed. I mean, unless he's going to go and get some of his signing bonus and pay something or pay somebody or something like that, because apparently, I guess Graham Gano's done with the swapping number kind of thing, because he did that with Kayvon. He was number 5. Kayvon made a donation to some type of charity. I love it. That's fantastic. Graham Gano wasn't like, yeah, give me $100,000 and that way I can put a pool in my house and we're all good. You know what I mean? No, Kayvon, I guess, wrote a check to I think it was some type of dog charity. I think it was something like that. So you write the check, give it to the charity. Here's your number 5. I'll take number 9. So I love it. Absolutely love it. So I guess Gano is now done, with swapping numbers. So now, if you look, I mean, if he wants a single digit number, that doesn't look like it's really happening, because we got like 2 guys who are wearing 0. Right, I'm sure Burns is going to wind up being the one wearing the 0. You got Johnny Giles. He's wearing 0. You can't wear 1. That's Ray Flaherty. That's retired. Right. He's the first 1935. He's the first guy ever, period, in the history of professional sports to get his number retired. Number 1, 1935 by the New York Giants. So 1 is out of the question. Right. Drew Lock's wearing 2. Tay Banks has got number 3. So Drew Lock ain't going nowhere. Tay Banks ain't going nowhere. Right. Number 4, that's retired. Alphonse Tuffy Lemons. So that's retired. Forget about it. He was the 2nd overall pick for the New York Giants, their 2nd overall draft pick in the 1936 draft. Actually, we got 2 guys wearing number 3. Tay Banks and Nathan Rourke both wearing number 3. So you can't take number 4. Now, well, you got 2 guys wearing 5. Coda, who might not be on the team anymore because he broke his collarbone, right? So then, of course, you got some guy by the name of Kayvon Thibodeau wearing number 5, right? Then you got number 6, Bryce Ford Wheaton, and the Scottish Hammer. Now, maybe the Scottish Hammer can get bribed. Don't know. But you got Bryce Ford Wheaton and Jamie Gillen. 2 guys wearing number 6. 7, forget about it. That's Mel Hine. That's retired. Can't touch this. Of course, you got some guy by the name of Daniel Jones wearing number 8. So forget about that. Graham Gano is number 9, right? Apparently, he's not changing. Okay. Then, of course, actually, we got 2 guys. I got Malik Nabers and Graham Gano. So you got the 2 guys wearing number 9. Of course, 10 and 11, both retired. You got Manning and Sims, right? Let's see here. You got, what do we got here? Now, it looks like he could wear number 12. But, I mean, if he's looking for a single-digit number, he's SOL. 12 is available, right? 10, 11, 14, and 16. Yeah, so he can wear 12 if he wants to, right? But so basically from 1 to 20, as of right now, looks like 1 to 20, he's pretty much SOL, unless he wants to wear number 12. Okay. Because he can't wear 10, he can't wear 11, they're retired. He can wear 12. Nobody's wearing 12 as of right now. Jalen Hyatt's number 13. 14 is retired by 2 guys, Ward Cuff and Wyatt Tittle. 14, forget about it. All right. 15 is Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan and Allen Robinson. So you got 2 guys wearing number 15. Number 16, Frank Gifford. Forget about it. It's retired. Number 17, Wandell Robinson. Number 18, Isaiah Hodgins. Number 19, Ayer Asante and Isaiah Simmons. And number 20 is Eric Gray. And David Long Jr. is wearing 20. So anything from 0 to 20, he could wear a 12. Right? 16, he can't wear 32. He can't wear 40. He can't wear 42. He can't wear 50. 56 or 92. So that's and the interesting thing here, right? If you look at the 80s, a lot of time wide receivers want to wear numbers in the 80s. A lot of those numbers are taken up too, if not all of them. Let me see. Yeah, maybe all these guys don't make the roster, but if you look at it here, Gunnar Olszewski's 81. Maybe Miles Boykin doesn't. He's 81. Daniel Bellinger, 82. Lawrence Cager, 83. Tyree Jackson, 84. So maybe Tyree Jackson, maybe he doesn't. Wait a second. He's got something wrong with his arm. Man Hurts is 85. Darius Slayton's 86. Isaiah McKenzie's 87. Dennis Houston's 88. Jack Stall's 89. So, I mean, what he can do is maybe if he's going to want like maybe something in the 80s, he might have to wait for guys to start getting cut. Let's see. He's wearing number 9, but this is only mini camp, and that's only because there are 90 roster players and 14 retired numbers, making duplicates a necessity. No, there isn't 14 retired numbers. There's 13 retired numbers. So this is wrong. There's 14 retired players. There's only 13 retired numbers. Number 3 was retired by Len Grant. He retired in 1938. But when he got Pete Gogolak in 1966, he wanted number 3. So they unretired Len Grant's number, who got killed in a lightning strike. So in 1966, they unretired number 3 and gave Pete Gogolak, and has been in service ever since. Right? But it says here, there's 14 retired numbers. There's 14 players who have the numbers retired. So only 13 numbers. 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 16, 32, 40, 42, 50, 56, and 92. 13 numbers, 14 players. So that's wrong. Number 9 permanently belongs to the kicker, Graham Gano, who joked on social media in May. It belongs to me. When he learned that neighbors wanted the jersey number, can Gano work it? Well, once again, hey, who knows? Can Gano work out a deal to sell the number to neighbors? Sure. He did the same thing a couple of years ago with Kayvon in exchange for number 5 for a $50,000 donation to a charity. So if Kayvon could afford a $50,000 donation, right, to a charity, he was picked number 5. Malik Neighbors at number 6, I'm sure, can afford a $50,000 donation. So, hey, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Strange things happen. Gano says, as of right now, number 9 says, but maybe another $50,000 donation to the same charity or different charity. Hey, maybe changes his mind. Who knows? Let's see. He wore number 8 at LSU, so that's out of the question. I mean, if the Giants get rid of Daniel Jones after this season, well, then he might be in line for number 8, right? Let's see. Number 7, yeah, I went over this. Number 7, number 10, number 11, Eli, all retired, leaving neighbors to likely pick a number from the 80s. So if he's going to pick a number from the 80s, he's going to have to wait until the end of the season. The end of spring training, when some guys, after with the third preseason, when guys start getting cut, right? Some numbers start popping up, coming available. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, I'm going to sign up the post. Oh, there we go. I'm going to try to leave this guy a comment here. Please enter the code. Oops. Well, I want to leave this guy a comment here. Letting him know 514-381. Okay. 514-381. I want to username is required. Oh, okay. I'll put the Gridiron. How's that? I want to let this guy know. Oh, I gotta log in. Log in. No one seems to have shared. I log in. Go back up to the top. There. Sign up to post. I did sign up. Huh. Trying to sign up here. Maybe I'll have to. Okay. Oh, well. One person typing. There are only 13 numbers retired. Not 14. are 14 players who have their numbers retired. But it is only a total of 14 numbers. 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 16, 32, 40, 42, 50, 56, 92. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sign up to post. I did sign up. Oh, here are guidelines here. Welcome to the community. I click. Log in. Log in. Try to go. Sign up to post. Now let's see the share. Leave a comment. The voice should be heard. Start a conversation. Oh, there you go. Number 3 was retired at 1 point. But it was retired in 1966. Send. Okay. All right. Well, sorry it took me about an hour and a half for that. I do apologize. But so Elite Neighbors, if he wants to get, it's going to be interesting to see what numbers he wants. I mean, you can take, pretty much any, but a lot of, obviously, the wide receivers take, either a single-digit number, something in the teens, like a Wando Robinson with 17 and all, like Isaiah Hodgins, 18. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, he was number 8. So if Daniel Jones goes, jumping the gun here, but if he does go, I mean, Malik might jump in and take maybe number 8. I'll have to wait and see. All right, next. Hard to believe. Shocking. The Giants get no love. Giants offense lands in the bottom of PFF's cluster-based stats breakdown. Hard to believe. Giants country. Who wrote this here? Andrew Porsan. And what was supposed to be a running back year in 2023, the Giants stumbled to a disappointing 6-11 record last season. One of the primary culprits was an offense hurt by injuries and spotty performance. As a result, the Giants' offense was one of the worst in the entire league last season. Oh, my God. Averaging only 280 yards and 15.6 points per game. 280 yards a game was 29th, and 15.6 points per game is 30th. 280 yards a game is absolutely horrible. My God. I mean, there was at times there were teams doing that in a half. Of course, while injuries to players like Andrew Thomas, running back Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller didn't help. Neither did the play of quarterback Jones, whose season was ultimately cut short to an ACL. Yeah, but the turnstile, the offensive line was absolutely horrible. Right? Yeah, guys missing blocks every week, and a new offensive line. Set of offensive linemen in there. It was just a mess. Thus, it's no surprise that in a clustering of the NFL offenses last season, the Giants landed in the bottom cluster 4 of Pro Football Focus's review. The cluster consisting of the least successful teams in 2023, which earned the lowest average offensive grade for clusters, 68.5, relied on the run more than other teams in generated the lowest average EPA per play figure, and were also the least successful teams on fourth down conversions. Among the eye-opening data percentages for the Giants rating, including 24.3% conversion rate to a new set of downs. That's hard. And a receiving grade of 62.7, which was both last in the league. Now, obviously, the 62.7 is a PFF grade, and obviously PFF did this, so if that's not bad enough, the Giants also averaged only 8.3 passing first downs per game. I mean, eight first downs per game via the pass, which was last in the league. Hard to believe. These stats are likely a big reason why the Giants, after being thwarted in an attempt to move up in the draft for a quarterback, pivoted to taking one big three out of the big three receivers in the draft. Really, he was 6th overall pick, drafted expected to be the number one wide receiver. Obviously, with Jaylen Waddle, Robinson, and Darius Slayton. Obviously, the Giants also addressed their offensive line, adding 5 veterans and free agents. They had a lot of veterans. They had, obviously, running back Devin Singletary. And, of course, we got Tyrone Tracy. There was even talk of head coach Brian Daboll taking over the play calling this season from offensive coordinator Mike Kafka as New York looks to become more of an explosive vertical passing offense. It's much too soon to know if all these changes implemented will lead to the Giants' offense gaining back the respect it gradually lost years ago. But the hope is that the worst is behind them. As they look to be more competitive ahead. And the thing is I mean, one of the big thing is that, a lot of it was the injuries. You can't, I mean, and one of the things is that, many things, but you got John Michael Schmitz, right? Up and coming, hopefully with Basillo, going to start getting the best out of Michael Schmitz. He had some good moments there last year. Sometimes he looked like he was a little overmatched, right? But it's also a little difficult, to, one game he's running out there and he looks over here and he's got this guard and he's got that guard. Okay. Then the next game he comes running out and he's got a different guard over here, but he has this guard's still the same. Then the next game he runs out, this guard's still the same, but then the guard over here it's you need continuity. You need to know the strengths and the weaknesses of the guys that you have next to you. And there wasn't any of that. It took like half the season, 8-9 weeks or so before we had like the same offensive line in there, from the week before. I mean, that's not only, we just had like a weak offensive line unit, but it's just then rotating guys in and it was just a total mess. I mean, as you saw, right? How did Daniel Jones get injured? Right? A lot of times in the past, right? The one time when he had his first neck injury against the Cowboys, right? What did he do? He tried to took on a linebacker or safety, whatever it was. He was trying to run over one of the Cowboys to get into the end zone. He hurt his neck. He hurt his hamstring against the Bengals. I think he was trying to, if I remember, I think he was trying to slide. Okay. So he had a hard time sliding, but he pulled his hamstring. Why? Well, he was running, right? Here, how did he get annihilated? Well, he almost got decapitated against the Dolphins. Wasn't his, it was the offensive line, right? Tore his ACL, right? What happened? He was getting sacked, right? Tyrod Taylor got injured. You had a third-string quarterback in there, So, I mean, hard to believe. Even the Kansas City Chiefs offensive numbers would take a little bit of a hit. They had as many offensive linemen in there as we had. If they had a third-string quarterback in there, their numbers would take a hit as well, too. So, obviously, yeah. Some of it was certainly maybe on the play calling, the players, and all of that, but there was a little more involved in it than just the Giants stink. So hopefully if we can stay healthy, that would be huge, right? That would be really, really healthy. That would be fantastic. We can stay healthy. Keep the same offensive line unit in there, And I know I'm asking for a lot here, but that would be huge as well, too, right? That would give Daniel Jones some confidence. I mean, if you got no confidence in stepping back, with the ball, and you got like less than 2 seconds to throw a football, you ain't got much confidence back there, right? That's going to rattle anybody. I don't care who you are, right? So let's see if we can, work on some of that stuff. Just to be honest, if we can stay relatively healthy, I think I would be rather shocked if our numbers didn't improve. Now, I'm not going to say we're going to go from 15 points a game to 23 or 24 points a game, because that would be really rather astronomical. But I mean, I'd be rather shocked if we don't start averaging at least 20 points a game or so. And, once again, better coaching, right, with Carmen Basillo in there. He knows what he has with Illuminor, right? Because he was with Illuminor in New England, with Las Vegas. Now he's with the Giants. He knows what he has with him, right? We got a high draft pick with John Michael Schmitz. We got a stud with Andrew Thomas. We got Illuminor, right? Obviously, when we had Basillo and we started bringing in these free agent offensive linemen, but I'm sure Basillo had some type of a hand in that. I'm sure it was kind of, Shane's like, hey, Carmen, Stinney is available. You want him? Or hey, Carmen, Runyon Jr. is available. You want him? Right? So he trained under one of Skarnecchia, one of the absolute freaking best offensive line coaches. I mean, so I think he's going to do a heck of a lot better job than Bobby Johnson. And I think the Commanders got Bobby Johnson. Good luck and God bless, man. Good luck and God bless. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, finally, are there 2 hidden gems on the Giants roster? Ooh. Well, the first one here I want to go over here is they're talking about this is from Clutch Points. This is running back Tyrone Tracy Jr. They're talking about him quite possibly being a hidden gem for the Giants. In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Giants made 6 selections, obviously, with their 5th round pick being one of the most intriguing. That's when General Manager Joe Schoen took Purdue's running back Tyrone Tracy Jr. The 2024 Giants roster is nothing special at running back after losing arguably the most talented back in the NFL with Saquon Barkley. Walk down I-95, that's right, to the Philadelphia Eagles. As the Giants do under Shane and Dable, they brought in a former Buffalo Bills player to replace Barkley and Devin Singletary, adding the veteran former Houston Texans back to his second-year running back Eric Gray. So don't forget about him. And Shane and Dable, Shane drafted him, right? So they must see something in Gray. So now he may not necessarily wind up being maybe running back number 2. Maybe they get Tracy in there. Who knows? But it's going to take a little bit more than, he's going to have to perform really bad for them to, put him on the practice squad or something like that. So if look for Gray to wind up being running back number 2, if not number 3. The only other back on the roster is Corbin, while they're forgetting about Turbo Miller. Let's see here. So it's what the back does with the opportunity that will be fascinating to watch. The 5'11", 209-pound ran a 4.4840. That means that he has the size and speed to be a legit running back. Plus, in his senior season with the Boilermakers, he put up solid numbers with 716 yards and only 113 carries, 8 rushing touchdowns. But the thing is, those 113 carries are pretty much like the only rushing carries he's had in his college career. I think he had some others. I think those other years sprinkled in there as he was a wide receiver. So I mean, he has so much tread left on the tires. So he's played a lot. Okay. So it's not like he only played like one season and that was it. But as far as being a running back, he still got, I'm sure he's got a lot to learn. But, he's not all banged up and beat up like somebody's, maybe not so much beat up. I don't want to say Saquon was beat up coming out of college or some of these other guys, but they ran the ball a lot. And, you only got a number of carries. Whatever your number of carries are, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Emmitt Smith could probably, he was lucky enough. He kept running and running and running and running and running. He ran for a long time. Other guys, they start breaking down after a while. They get a couple bad injuries or something like that. And their career goes after 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, whatever. Everybody's got a certain number of carries, before their body starts wearing down. Or, right, if you're really that unlucky, one of your carries could be a torn ACL or something like that. So, at least with Tracy, I'm not saying he's going to run for 15 years or anything like that, but he's only his senior season, his main running back season, 113 carries. That's it. So I'm really anxious to see him, especially if they put him out wide because he was a wide receiver, right? If he's a return man, 4.48 and 40. If they can get Turbo Miller next to him, Turbo Miller and Tracy, that wouldn't be bad. Let's see. What makes Tyrone Tracy Jr. truly interesting, though, is that 2023 was the first season he played running back. Tracy came out of high school as Indiana's Gatorade Player of the Year and went to Iowa as a wide receiver. After a redshirt year and 3 seasons as a reserve, Tracy transferred to Purdue, where he was a hybrid wide receiver running back for a season before becoming a full-time ball toter. If Tracy isn't the starter, though, he can still have a lot of value on the 2024 Giants roster. That's because he is also an excellent kick returner. In his final season at Purdue, he had 16 returns for 408 yards and even took one back to the house. So, now if you look here, this means that Tracy comes into the NFL with significantly less wear and tear than most drafted running backs. That's a big deal coming into the league that chews running backs up and spits them out at an alarming rate. And with the love that running backs get nowadays, it's you're like a Bic lighter. If you're broken, see you later, right? Ask Gary Brightwell, right? By contrast, Singletary has 602 carries in his last 8 years between NFL and college, 1,602. He has 113 last season, Tracy. So basically, he has like 1,500 less rushing attempts than what Singletary had. 1,500. Just imagine this, right? As tough as it is in the NFL, imagine this. Whatever. Getting the ball and you're running right? 1,500 times. Imagine that. It doesn't matter if you get up every time. Something's going to start happening to your body. You know what I mean? That's a lot of carries. And not everybody can hold up. Give me 15 carries. 15, not 1,500. 15 carries. I'm retiring. Forget about it, man. Whew. Absolutely not. Then they got one more. They got the 2 hidden gems on the team here. Now, obviously, the other one is, which shows in my thumbnail, is Bryce Ford Wheaton. Now, with him, he's got, because we're going to keep, on the 53. Just think. 6 wide receivers on the, suiting up. Maybe, I don't know. We have 7 last year. Every game, 7. That would be a lot, 7. But you got to think, well, maybe Tracy would be one. So running back / kick returner. But Gunnar Olszewski, if he comes back, I mean, quite possibly he'll be a punt returner, right? So, I mean, as long as they're healthy, right? Slayton, right? As long as they're healthy, once again. Hyatt, Robinson, Nabers. Boom. You fab four right there. So then if you got, Gunnar Olszewski, right? Punt returner. And then I said, then you start looking. The thing is, I mean, we brought a couple of guys in who quite possibly, I mean, don't forget about Allen Robinson. Don't forget about Hodgins. Then they got Isaiah McKenzie, right? Who could quite possibly be a return man as well, too. And Chase Cota, you can forget about him because he broke his collarbone. I'm sure he's probably going to get one released. Dennis Houston, Johnny Giles, Ayir Asante, maybe, but I mean, we got a lot of guys. Miles Boykin, but I'm saying, but there's a lot of guys. If the other hidden gem is Bryce Ford Wheaton, the guy's was 6'4", 220 pounds, ran a blazing 4.38 second 40-yard dash at the combine. I mean, man, that has stud written all over it. And it says, despite the A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf-esque physical gifts, Ford Wheaton went undrafted in the 2023 NFL Draft before signing with the G-Men. He has a raw prospect with limited experience and production, but his physical gifts were too much to ignore. I mean, you just don't have guys like that, like him, walking the streets, right? Ford Wheaton got some run in last year's preseason, taking the field for 94 snaps in 3 games and making 2 catches for 24 yards. Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka lined him up in all different spots, though, which shows the coaches were trying to figure out how to best use the physical phenom. Unfortunately, shocking, he tore his ACL in the 3rd and final preseason game and obviously ended his season. Ford Wheaton is now healthy and back to battle for a spot on the 2024 Giants roster among what is now an incredibly deep wide receiver depth chart. In addition to returning vets like Slayton and Nabers, the Giants have Hyatt, Hodgins, Wando Robinson, Isaiah McKenzie, Robinson II, Gunnar Olszewski. I said that Boykin, Houston, Ayir Asante, Chase Cota, who I'm sure is going to get released because he broke his collarbone. Even if the Giants keep 6 wideouts on the 53-man roster, Slayton, Nabers, Hyatt, maybe Hodgins, Wando Robinson, and Rob. It's like, man, that leaves just 1 spot open for the remaining 7 candidates. Or if the Giants surprisingly cut a veteran like Slayton to save some money, it only leaves 2 openings. What gives Bryce Ford Wheaton a real chance to make the roster as a hidden gem in his combination of size and speed, which is 6'4", and he's can run under a 4.40, right? And no other giant wide receiver has that, the height and the speed. So it says here, sure, Hodgins and Allen Robinson have good size, but they aren't that fast. And Wando Robinson, Nabers, and Hyatt can fly, but none of them are that big. 6'4", right? 220, solid, under a 4.40. That leaves an opening for Ford Wheaton and makes him a name to watch in training camp. So keep your eye out on him. Once again, maybe he can make a nice name for himself in maybe on special teams, right? But the thing is, obviously, what you hate to have is put him on the practice squad, right? And somebody plucks him. Now, if somebody plucks him, right, they got to put him on their 53-man roster, okay? But once again, and the thing is, the more time he has in the league, the more experience he has and all that, more, he did play in 3 preseason games last season. Wasn't regular season games, but he got 90-something snaps in those 3 preseason games. Fast forward to this season. He's going to get in those 3 preseason games. He's going to get in there. knock on wood, he can stay healthy. Okay. So, he's going to get another 3 preseason games. So we'll have to wait and see if he can make the roster or not. But once again, 6'4", 220, runs under a 4.4 40. You start giving him more reps and all that stuff and everything. You put him on the practice squad. Will he stay there for the whole season? Can the Giants keep him on the practice squad once again and hope and pray he's around next? We'll have to wait and see. But then again, once again, we're also talking Giants too. And, injuries and Giants go hand in hand. So, just because, we got a lot of names right now does not wind up meaning they're all going to stay healthy. As we saw, Slayton got dinged up. Bryce Ford Wheaton actually got dinged up. Chase Cota got dinged up in the OTAs and all that. So we'll have to wait and see who's still left standing by the time training camp's over. After the third preseason game's over with, they got to cut the roster down from 90 to 53. But keep your eye on him, because then not only did they last season, right, they got him on the practice squad. He's an undrafted free agent, but they gave him a signing bonus. They gave him a nice little signing bonus. So, they I don't know if they saw something in him, or it's more we saw something in the tape that we think we can get, or it's like this dude is 6'4", 220, 4.38. It's like, man, let's throw $250,000. That was 270,000 or $250,000 or something like that as a signing bonus. Let's get this freaking guy on our roster. Let's see if we can make something out of him. Because it's like that. We hate to see him go to another team and somebody other team. He's got 6'4", because that's what the Giants don't have. They got speed, but the guys who got the speed they got guys who are tall, but the guys who are taller run like me. They run a little faster than me, but you know what I mean? So he's got the combination of both. And he didn't do too bad, I think, from what I can remember in the preseason last year. Now, unfortunately, the preseason, PFF doesn't have the preseason numbers. So unfortunately, I can't look back and see what he did during the preseason last year, like what his grades were, how many snaps he took. I don't think I can. I'm not exactly sure, but he did look somewhat promising, I think, in the special teams department last season in the preseason. So once again, certainly somebody to keep an eye on. The thing is, they got these 2 hidden gems. Tracy, almost lock, stock, and barrel, right? He's on the team. He's on the 53, right? Bryce Ford Wheaton, you're not exactly sure. Because once again, we got a lot of wide receivers. And you have to make room, quite possibly, on the 53 out of the wide receivers you're going to keep for, like, as I said, like maybe 1 or 2 of the return men. So, but keep your eye on Bryce Ford Wheaton. The other thing, before I go, is that with Bryce Ford Wheaton, he tore his ACL. Now, doesn't mean he can't come back full strength. Doesn't mean he can't come back better than ever. The problem is, a lot of times it's the second season when he comes back, or players come back, they're better. Like with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones might come back. He might obviously certainly be very, 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 very functional, okay, especially as a quarterback. But he may not be as tip-top shape as far as being athletic and being able to run and dodge, dive, duck, dip, and dodge. The 5 Ds of dodgeball. He may not be able to do the 5 Ds of dodgeball at his best until next season, right? So it might be the same thing here with Bryce Ford Wheaton. He might look good, right? He might this, he might that, and all that, but he may not. He might be a little step behind or a little step slow or whatever this season. If the Giants, if he's still on the team, right, with the Giants, next season, that's when he might be at his best. Wan'Dale Robinson said the same thing, too. He was saying, like, as he came back last season, right, and, it wasn't quite the same. He started getting better and better, like, as time went on, and he's saying this season now in training camp and everything, he said it's like night and day. He's, like, flying all over the place. Same thing with Darian Beavers. Last season, when Darian Beavers because obviously 2 seasons ago, Beavers got injured in training camp, preseason game. Last season, Beavers tried to come back. Beavers 6'4", like 250 in the middle line. He's like a fly sideline to sideline. Not saying he's Lawrence Taylor or Ray Lewis and all like that, but it's a nice size and the guy flies around. But when he tried to come back last season from his ACL, he was like a step slow. Didn't make the roster, didn't make the 53, was on the practice squad. But now he's back. This is his second season. So in training camp, keep your eye out on Darren Beavers. Once we got some players on the inside linebacker position. So if he makes the team, we'll have to wait and see. But as far as his physical athletic ability, he should be better than he was last season. So we'll have to wait and see. As I said, Bryce Ward, we need somebody to keep an eye on. When he makes the 53, we'll have to wait and see. But he may not be at his absolute best until next season. All right, guys, it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes. According to Vinny G-Man, my mic is messed up a little bit. Or it was messed up in the beginning. Hopefully it's not too bad now or whatever. So if it was a little messed up, I do apologize. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time listening to replay this, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo! Oh, yeah.